It's really sad. Trump has created this culture in this world where you can't even really freely state your own opinion without the risk of being persecuted and attacked. If your opinion happens to be anti-Trump or liberal in any way or progressive in any way, you have a large amount of people in this country now will hate you for it and attack you for it, and think you're stupid and all this other stuff. Regardless of what political side you're on, even if you're not on a side, there's a overwhelming amount of disdain and hatred for the other side happening right now. And our society just can't get along. So it's creating this huge conflict and dissonance and pool of hatred and this enemy tribalism mindset. Like if you're not in the right tribe, then we're against you. So people are afraid to state their own opinion due to the fear of losing their social status or losing friends that they may view as important to have. Because friends are important. You need friends in this life in order to really be happy. It's one of the main ways for being happy is having good friends. And sometimes you can have friends who disagree with you politically. So if you even voice an opinion, you could risk losing friendships, which is a big thing for a lot of people. People don't want to lose friendships. That's a very basic human need. So now we have this really dystopian situation happening where people may be informed and have certain opinions that are based on facts and logic, and then they're afraid to speak out, similar in the way that people in fascist countries are afraid to speak out due to social repercussions and economic repercussions of being persecuted. So we're already experiencing that in America, actually, this fear of persecution. And losing friends is a form of persecution. It might not be physical persecution, like with a sword, like you might see in some other third world countries, but losing friends is definitely a psychological form of persecution, which should not be undervalued, and it should not be taken lightly. Being referred to as stupid, people talking shit behind your back. And now there's even a thing where a lot of attractive young women, for some reason, they are on this Trump train, and they really support Trump, and if they see a man as supporting the liberal side or the progressive side, they view that as, this is what I've heard from other people, they might view that as beta or weak or feminine or faggy or whatever. So it really is alarming how our culture and society has gotten to this point of where facts are no longer considered to be important. Now it's more about hype. It's more about sensationalism, about image, about whether or not the politician or the person that you're looking up to in the political realm, how much charisma they have or how they make you feel, as opposed to the facts. And you have to remember, if you've ever been in therapy or you've ever looked at this stuff, one of the biggest things you'll learn is that feelings are not facts. And right now you have a huge amount of people in our population just going by pure feeling. And that is not a suitable determinant for who should be president or who should be in any kind of position of power in this country. You have to look at facts, you have to look at policy. And some people say, well, those facts are not true, because what about these facts? It's like, well, a fact is a fact. A fact, by nature, is a fact. It's true. So if half of the population says that gravity is fake and half of the population says gravity is real, well, clearly the people who say gravity is real, they're the ones who are correct. Some things have a gray area, but there are certain things that are being spouted, especially by Trump, lies. And as we know, if you fact check his statements, he lies on a regular basis, much more than most other politicians do. Someone like Kamala may lie here and there, but definitely nowhere near Trump's level. All politicians lie to an extent. Very few of them, even Bernie Sanders lies once in a while. I don't know if he really intends it necessarily, but it's really about intent. Trump's intention clearly is to lie and manipulate the population, and you see that with the statements that he makes on a regular basis that are mostly fear-based, and have this agenda of divisiveness, divide and conquer, right? That's the old adage that manipulative, corrupt leaders have been using for centuries. Divide the people and then conquer the people. So these things all need to be considered, that's all. It's like, how do we really know what's going on? We can know by looking at factual information, which is readily available online. And some people might say, well, you can't trust anything you read online. Well, yes, there is a lot of false information online, but there are ways to check the information and make sure it's reputable and that's reviewed and that it's scientific and it contains actual factual information. There are ways to review information and check these things. But if you're just going on X or Twitter or looking at Instagram memes, you're probably not going to get accurate information. But those are basically my thoughts for the day on that.